answer. Hey, let me do this. Ask me questions. Just get all the questions out of the way before I get to the slides. Ask me questions right now. Anything. how, how many of those you got? We bought some puts for 7, 8 cents on Friday, okay? And they're going to be, if we stay right here, it's going to be huge. Probably about $1.30, $1.40. Pocket puts, pocket puts are going to be good. Pocket puts. There's no panic. Everybody listening to me is right on top of it. Look at that. Up 341% on the SPY puts. All right, you want to hear what I think? I got a couple things to tell you. Rob's up $3,000 on the SQQQ. All right, let's talk about it. All right. There's two major deals that need to happen. One's with the European Union, and the other one, okay? The other one is China. All the smaller deals that they keep talking about doesn't mean a whole lot of anything until you get those two major deals done, followed by Canada and Mexico. I don't worry so much about Canada and Mexico. They'll get in line. But everybody's waiting, especially from the administration. They're waiting to see what the deal looks like with China or the EU, okay? Whoever makes that deal first will be the winner. Whoever makes it second will be the loser. Now, when that happens, you should see a rally, maybe up to halfway point of how much we fell, and then it's going to correct down. A lot of stuff is going to happen. But I believe by July 1st, this baby's going to be rocking and rolling if they get the tax bill done. Type that in there because I want to make sure everybody understands. All my planning is based on that tax bill being done by July. Somebody type that in there. I want that on there because everything gets thrown up in the air if that doesn't happen. All this other stuff is noise. It's short-term opportunities. Way to go, iPatty. How many people attended my weekly wrap up and got all those great trades? I would make 20 to 40, 20, 40% on that bond trade. That's what I'd shoot for. Yeah, as long as that tax bill comes through, all this will be forgotten in the rearview mirror. That's what I believe. We'll see if I'm right. Did I get you out at the exact top of gold? I'm so proud of that trade. I told Jonathan, get out, get out. We hit the exact top on gold. We're gonna get another run on gold in a little bit. I think it's the 458. Okay, William. I've heard about this much about a guy who hadn't been right in 30 years. The guy has not been right in 30 years. The Booyah guy. I trade the SQQ, TQQ just about every day in this kind of market, and I'll be trading it probably tonight, later, and then. No problem, Sue. There'll be plenty of opportunity with me. Just ask people who's been with me. Ask old Todd. He's smiling from ear to ear. All right. Do y'all remember the number I said would be the first stop to the downside? Everything goes down, Don, when you have this kind of sell-off. Write that one down. Did everybody remember the number I gave everybody that the S&P would go to back about 400 or 500 points? No, that's not it, William. Nope, nope. Come on, Dave. You gave it to me the other day. You remember what I told you? 48.42. Guess what the low on the S&P tonight was? That's where I covered my micro. Let me give you the low on the E-mini. Let me find it. I got it here somewhere. 48.32. That's a hell of a call. That's a hell of a call. Especially when I did it when we were at 5,300. You think you might ought to listen to me? I think you should. All right. Let's get into the presentation. Maybe I'll go to a live market and we'll review some stuff, okay? We have got a record number of people here tonight. I hope I got a record number. We'll be at 10:15 in the morning. Folks, I'm Tom Busby. This is my Telegram channel. It's free. Sign up to it, T-Buzz TV, and you ought to join my YouTube channel too, okay? Risk involved in trading, we know about that. Good. There's risk involved in trading if you take your head and bury it in a trash can. But you can take advantage of the market if you know the market direction. Knowing long, short, or out is so important. Folks, I'm a former Air Force officer. I think tactically and strategically. Been an active trader since the 70s. Former member of Chicago Mercantile Exchange. First love is futures. I believe everybody ought to have a futures account where you could trade with me tonight. I work with a lot of traders. Get my 3 books, Winning the Day Trading Game, Markets Never Sleep, and Trade to Win. At DTI, I work on helping you master the markets through education, training, and experience. In my opinion, this is a market that is perfect for the daily double, in my opinion. Here's my schedule. I want you to look at it, okay? Tomorrow, I'll be doing a master class number 3 for the daily double. I got 2 in the can. I have a 3 p.m. weekly wrap up. I got futures first. All this is, I'm doing this, folks, because I want to be in front of you to help you and get questions answered throughout the trading day. Write that schedule down. Yes, I got a zebra class too. The zebra class will be at 2:15 tomorrow. I forgot to put that in there. Thanks for reminding me. 2:15, Michael. Thanks for reminding me. 2:15. Okay. Richard, if you want to sign up for futures first, Adam, will you put, Richard wants to sign up with me, so will you put the link in there to sign up for the futures program? He's got some work to get caught up, but be glad to show it to him. Tuesday, Academy at 10, 10:45, our Connect Dots, our All-Star program, live trading at 11:30. Wednesday, Academy at 10. I got another 3 p.m. live trade on Wednesday. Thursday, I've got 10:30 Academy, 11:30 live trade. Adam, I got a 3 o'clock on Thursday. a 3 o'clock on Thursday also. Be sure to put that in there. And put a 3 o'clock on Tuesday also. I'm gonna be with it every day at 3 o'clock.
What was the 3 p.m. for?
Just put right now, call it 3 p.m. Just call it flash. I'm gonna do some training on some programs.
Tuesday and Thursday, right?
Huh?
Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, I'm gonna do 3 p.m. every day of the week. Weekly on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and on Thursday, and my final one on Friday. There's a Wednesday at 11:32, Adam.
What's the 11:30?
Yeah, live trading. I think that way I'm in front of everybody as much as possible. Adam and I were talking about it. A lot of people, he gets emails, things, okay? And Roger just put a nice comment in there. Thank you, Roger. Pretty cool stuff. That's our schedule. Take a picture of it. Let me take a picture of it where I'll know too. So we changed it at the last minute. That's what I do. I just take a snapshot, then I got it. Those phones are pretty nice. Seven Sisters, 17% on the E-mini, 21 on the NASDAQ, 11, 13 on the Dow. DAX, look at the DAX. It's going to go negative tonight. Gold up 13. Crude, hey, I told you crude was the best trade of the year. Crude is at 59.68. 59. What have I been telling you in futures? Folks, there it is. Bonds. This is the easiest play of the year. Does everybody here have a TLT out to January of 26? I've got a trade that we've just been milking right and left on bonds because interest rates are going to come down. Okay? TLT out to 2026. I'll get Jonathan to remind me tomorrow in my master class and we'll put that out. Okay? Bonds made a new 52-week high tonight. They're going to go higher. I'm long bonds. Probabilities a week tomorrow, Tuesday, a little bit better, Wednesday, Thursday, okay, sort of back at seesaw, okay? Pretty good stuff. News this week. We got CPI on Thursday, that's the big news. And you got PPI, is that on Friday? It looks like PPI back-to-back Thursday and Friday. I think they'll look at that inflation because they've been hammering inflation. But here's what you got. You got crude oil down 10%. You got interest rates going up. Egg prices have come back. I don't think it's going to be bad. Okay. I do have something to tell you, and this is a good time to tell you. Has anybody ever heard of a company called CarMax? CarMax? I went out there today and I was pretty impressed. And CarMax is trying to buy used cars, but they're trying to buy wholesale and then they marking up 20, 25%. But here's what you got to know. The guy I was talking to was very knowledgeable. He said he thought used car prices would rise somewhere between 10 and 30% over the next 90 days. So what does that tell you? That tells you if you got a car, you were going to think about switching, you might wait until we get about 30 or 40 days into this. I thought it was very interesting when I was talking to him. Okay. You know, I don't know if y'all remember, but at one point you could sell your used car and get a new car with a tiny bit of spread. Thought I'd share that with you. I trade everything, and there's another example. Okay. I would use the $100 call or the 102 call, 104, something like that. That's what I would use. Okay. My 10 tickers, there they are. I've got QQQ less than 420 on a closing basis going lower. Affirm below 2940 going lower. SPY below 50250 going lower on a closing basis. I got Hood below 2940 going lower. I got Dollar General closing above 98.55 going higher. Berkshire makes it above 538.55 higher. AEM, that's American Eagle, okay? And I got that at 111.40. NNE needs to get back above 25.55. Gold needs to get back above 290.55. And BJ needs to go above 120 to get long. Take a picture of that. That's my tickers for the week. Last week, they were outstanding, the number of points people made. I think 4 of them hit last week, maybe 5. So there it is for this week. Any questions about my 10 tickers? I do it on Sunday night. I put it out for the week. Pretty good stuff, isn't it? Yeah, keep in mind, if I go to a live market, want me to show you how to time that in the evening, the SQQQ purchase? I'll do that in a live market if we get to a live market. Learn to answer the most important question, Jody, whether to be long, short, or out. You can be out, and I'm okay with that. But you don't want to be long when you're looking at a market like this, okay? Yeah, Scott, that's what it is. I give you a defining point with each of those tickers. And they have to close above those figures. Now, pocket puts, I want to just take a second talk. We got everybody in here that's listening to me has a pocket put, right? Where you pay 50 cents for an option out there, okay? And you click there to learn more about it. But I believe in pocket puts. How many people like my concept of pocket puts when the VIX gets above 20, the volatility gets above 20? How many people like the way I do that? I think we made 100% this week on another one. We've got a new one, going to be probably 100 or 150%. Pocket puts. That helps people that don't trade futures, but it gives them something to have something to look forward to, like tomorrow morning, right? That's what that's all about. Pocket puts is a term I created to pay 50 cents for a 5-wide put spread during times of market turmoil. I define market turmoil as when the VIX is greater than 20. Write that down. I tend to look at pocket puts anytime the VIX is greater than 20. I try to go out 30 days on expiration day because I'm putting 50 cents out there and I want to give me coverage like an insurance policy. That's the way I think of it. House gets on fire, I can collect on my pocket put. Look at this trade. I entered at 54 cents, sold a third at $1.12, a third at 91, and a third at $1. That's a 96 average return. And I got people here who made better than that. That's amateurs made that, right? Okay. But anyway, that was the story. Pretty cool stuff. Here's some headlines that come across my desk. They're starting to lower their forecast. They're rethinking. They're trying to get in line. They, had delusions of grandeur, and now they're starting to lower things. That's the first sign of a market bottom. This one here got me. Okay. Europe's bull market is just beginning. It's lost 13% since that article appeared last week. 13% it's lost since that article appeared. Other things you'll see where they tell you stocks at a bargain. I went through these. They lost about 7%. 7%. Now, how valuable is market timing? If you knew what the direction was going to be tomorrow at 10:15, who could make money? I'm going to ask that question. It's very valuable to know the direction of the market. Do y'all know anybody that specializes in market timing? Let me look around. Look at a mirror. Harold says he's been following me for 20 years. Look at a mirror. Anyway, Adobe stock. This is a sign. Anytime you see a key individual buying shares because they think the stock is low, it's called insider. Hey, guess what? They usually go a lot lower. That stock's dropped 20% since that guy bought. Look at that. Look at that. That was the market week last week. Dow was at 41,000. The Dow futures right now, let me check it. Let me check it right now. 37,000. Down 6%. Here's some stocks they also recommended. All these are down 7.5%. The point I'm trying to make is if you get market direction wrong, you're going to lose money. So you got to have a process to do that. So how valuable is to know, even for an hour, how valuable it is? Ask my people that bought the SQQQ. Think of it this way. In a typical day, the market moves about 60 points from high to low. Right now, it's moving 60 points every hour. In the current environment, it moves about 100 points every 2 hours. You got days that used to be over a course of a day, it's now taking hours to do. You can take advantage of that. You know what to look for. I will teach you. Short-term trade tips. I call it the daily double, and we have been having a ball in the daily double. That's what it's all about. I bought the SQQ. Now think about this. I went long the SQQQ at $47.18. Tell me where the SQQ is tonight, somebody. That's a 25% gain on the SQQQ. It's at 57.50. Is that getting your attention that I know where to go? The risk was low, the reward was great. A lot of people did options. I did the stock. 49.50, off and running. It's a great vehicle to trade in this kind of market. You got limited slippage, and here's the best part of all. You don't pay commissions to do this trade. So if you get in and out at the same price, it doesn't cost you anything. I think option trading is difficult due to the wide bid-ask spread, and so I'm focusing on that. Make some money with the SQQQ. Here's the weekly chart of the Seven Sisters. Look at that. We had direction right, we got paid. NASDAQ, we had the direction right, we got paid. The Dow, we had the direction right. DAX, look at the DAX. 13% in a week with the DAX. Crude, I've been talking about, how many people in Futures First heard what I said in January when crude was going higher? What did I tell you? I said, this is going to be the trade of the year. $45 is my target. Down, down, down. Gold's up, but it got you out right at the high. I'll get us back in when it's time to get back in. Bonds going higher. That's why I think everybody ought to have a TLT trade in their account. A little slow, but it runs. Now let me run through a few questions. How much is it worth to know the daily direction? I keep coming back, long, short, or out. If I can deliver at 10:15 on the direction, you ought to be able to make money. That's my assumption. Todd made 15%. We ought to stretch that out at him. He's up 33 right now. My high probability trade happens at 10:15 every day. Polly said the daily double is off the charts and helping in this kind of market. Now, who wants to learn it? Raise your hand or type yes if you want to learn the daily double. Everybody in here ought to want to learn it because this will save you in this kind of market. You don't have to worry about the pattern day trade rule. I'll teach you a way around it. You think you might make money each day if I give you the signal at 10:15? It's like playing baseball. Either I tell you, run those bases or stop. Long, short, or out. The answer to every question is yes. Pay attention. Understanding the importance. I've been telling people for years, long, short, or out is the most important question in trade. People are starting to understand why I believe that now. About 75% of all stocks will follow the direction of S&P. If we get the direction right, we'll make money. Here's a recent update in the markets, how three top stocks trade. Look how they went up when the market went higher. NVIDIA went up when the market went higher. Apple went up when the market went higher. Tesla went up when the market went higher. Now let's look at the exact same stocks on a down day. Down we went with NVIDIA. Down we went with Apple. Down we went with Tesla. They correlate to the S&P. I've studied S&P the greater part of 40 years. I follow it around the clock. I use it for my pivot number each day. It helps knowing that. It's the $1 million question for every trade. Now, how many times have you done this? Pick a direction thinking you're watching a chart and not knowing where it fits in with long, short, or out and the time of day you make that decision. So, it immediately reverses, you get stopped out. Not your fault. No one's told you about what I'm going to show you because they wasn't around having a Globex terminal learning this many years ago. Here's some raw data. Over the last 124 days, the signal is identified whether to be long, short, or out by 10:15 over 80% of the time. Over 124 days, the signal was right 100 times by 10:15. So the big question is, how much is it worth? Look at what happened on this down day here. That sort of explains the worth of it if you get direction. Look at that SQQ, up 7.98%. Look what, if you trade futures, what you got paid. Get in my futures program if you want to learn. Adam, put the link in there one more time. Let him have a shot of joining me tomorrow night when I train for this week. Pretty good stuff. On Friday, we had a put we paid 25 bucks for, sold it for 220. There's a picture of it, very simple. You just transfer your knowledge from stock options to E-mini options. Nothing hard about that. You take advantage of the signal with the directional play. I'm doing this daily double for 90 days. Get involved. Enter trades no later than 10:15 tomorrow morning. We exit trades by 4 at the latest. Our approach is simple. We buy puts or calls on the QQQ. We buy puts or calls on the E-mini. We buy the SQQ on down days, the TQQ on up days. We play it both ways. Let's look at the charts from Friday. There we come down. Boy, that was a good trade we made, wasn't it? We kept. SQQ, there we went up. That's a futures trade we did Friday. It actually sold out tonight for 350 bucks. So think about it. $100 an option has the potential to pay big. This is the daily double. Why 90 days? Because This is a lot of work, but I'm going to do it for the next 90 days. I'm following a roadmap that I believe will end up being the roadmap. We'll look back on and say, look at that roadmap on 2.0. No better way to pick direction volatile markets than the daily double. Each day you got a shot, you go in and do it. So join my live trading for the next 90 days at 10:15 in the morning. I record everything. Look what Roger said I did on Friday afternoon. Anybody want to be like Roger? I gave everybody that was listening that trade. Roger made 400%. Sent me that text. Look what Bill said. The pocket puts saved his bacon. He was out, hunting. He had those pocket puts on. He wasn't in front of the market. Look what Jim said. He couldn't believe you could pay $6 for an option, see it go to 30. That was pretty impressive, wasn't it? The Daily Double program is $4.97 for the next 90 days. Get signed up tonight. You can call 904-706-3532. You'll join my Daily Double Telegram channel. You go to dtitrader.com/double. We got 14 days to try me out. Rob says he really appreciates me taking my time and doing this every day at 10:15. Been doing it for 40 years. No VIP, it's just a straight price of $4.97. Get signed up. New traders, this is what you need. If you're experienced like old Jim, you'll take really advantage of it. But anyway, sign up for DTI Trader Double. Now, I got a class that I'll be teaching tomorrow, showing people how to avoid the day trading rule, pattern day trading rule. We'll do that as our master class number 3 tomorrow. We got support after that if you need it. Oh, by the way, we'll also pick a direction tomorrow. The 90-day beta program is $4.97. It's a beta program. Adam, I got to open it up because I think we're approaching that. Let's say if anybody wants to join tonight, we take it. Okay? Don't procrastinate, folks. Monica said the Daily Double is great value. No one can impart trading knowledge like Tom Busby. He provides actual strategies in a live market and gives you confidence to take the trade. Why do you get confidence? Yeah, they work. You do it over and over again. Eventually people go, hey, this is pretty good. Kevin joined, made $8,000 in 1 or 2 days. How about that? Chicken, fish, or steak time, folks. Sign up for the Daily Double. Master Class 1 and 2, we'll send them to you tonight. Watch those. I'll be teaching 8 more master classes in the Daily Double. Tomorrow will be how to avoid the day trading rule, pattern day trader. When you sign up, you'll get immediate access to the classes 1 and 2 at dtitrader.com/double. There it is, folks. I laid it out for you. I'll go to a live market in a little bit and we'll look at things. Let's give everybody about 10 or 15 minutes to make a decision. Tell me if you join. That way I'll be looking for you tomorrow. And might as well start off Monday with a great Monday like we did last week. Any questions, ask and I'll be glad to answer. 10:15 tomorrow. The futures class trades at night, Sandra, for the week. I'll put trades on tomorrow night for the week in the futures class. Jim says, I'm in for the Daily Double. I'm in for both futures and the Daily Double. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Daphne wants me to explain today. Daphne, I'm going to do it very slow. Can you make money if I help you get the direction long, buying, going up tomorrow at 10:15 or going down or staying out? It's $1,500 for a year, the futures program. Can you explain the Daily Double program? Is that good? So here's what's going to happen. You'll come into Daily Double channel. You'll be given a link that I'll be live, okay? We'll do it together tomorrow at 10 to make sure everybody understands masterclass number 3, and then we'll see what the market delivers. Thank you, David, for typing. He says, nobody does it better than Tom. What a great student you've been. I've got some numbers for people. Hang around, I'll give it to you when we go to a live roadmap. Yeah, the TLT trade gas deal, I'll cover it in the master class tomorrow. That'll be a bonus, okay, for getting signed up tonight. That'll pay for this. Yes, you'll learn how to do the Daily Double dance. I give stock and options, Rob, for the Daily Double. Stock and options. You gotta watch Masterclass 1 and 2 before we go into Masterclass 3 tomorrow, okay? Daphne says, I'm gonna let somebody answer it. Somebody answered Daphne, says, does this work in both an up and down market? 10:15. They're all typing yes. Carol says, yes, Daphne. Absolutely, Don says. You might copy some of those comments for old Daphne. And sideways when you ought to stay out, right, Harold? I'll tell you. They're coming in. There's no cost after 90 days, Daphne, because I might not do it anymore. I'll decide at the end, see what people want to do. I don't really think I want to do it. Did you see my schedule, Daphne, for tomorrow? I'm trying to help you any way I can, but you got to listen. If you don't listen, I can't help you. Isn't that right? In a second, I'm going to go to the roadmap software. I will show you what I use. Edwin says hearing is not listening. Yeah, you got to take action. Edwin, how many years you been with me? How many years has it been? 15 plus years, Edwin has been a student of mine. 15 plus. Harold, you've been with me longer than that, I think. By the way, Earl is coming to the Sawgrass. Did y'all know that? Harold, you need to come. Edwin said he's never paid a dime for education in 15 years because he got what I call scholarships. That's a pretty good track record, Edwin. Thank you. I believe in letting uneducated pay for your education. Adam, copy and let everybody see what Edwin typed in there. That's pretty good. Look, you can't keep doing what you've been doing. That's the definition of insanity. Change things. Come with me in a daily double. You got 14 days to try it out. Doesn't work for you, we'll give you your money back. I can't beat that, can I, guys? All right, we're gonna go live in a second. Daphne, I do the pocket puts for any of my subscribers. It's my way of saying thank you for subscribing. I'll probably put on a new pocket put sometime tomorrow. I go about 4 weeks out usually on the expiration date for pocket puts. Have I answered everybody's questions? That's the question I have. So when you're sitting there tomorrow and you're not in that room with me at 10:15 and you're losing money, look in the mirror and say, why did you hesitate? Yeah, the SQQ, Rob, trades 24 hours. It sure does. Thank Paul. Paul just signed up. You taking some profits? Well, the education's worth $500. You won't get an education like that anywhere on the planet. The reason I say that, you gotta read my book, but hey, Joy, Joseph, most of the stocks that have weekly expirations trade around the clock. Greg, I'm gonna give you a number. Do you have access to TD Ameritrade? Okay, I'm gonna give you an indicator for night to use once we go live, okay? Be patient. People are still signing up. I want to get all the people in here that want to sign up, answer questions. You should be able to. All right, Brian, Graham, John. Okay. Adam, can you go back to the schedule and go through the schedule? Let me go through that real quick for Monday.
One second, T-Buzz. I'll get it there.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, John Randall. Thank you, John. Hey, was anybody at that round table we did yesterday? Did y'all do that little exercise? I said, check the monthly open of stocks that you have. And you'll find out if you ought to be long or short. All right, look at that Monday. 9 a.m. we got the Academy. 10:15 the Daily Double. I'll be live during that time. 2 p.m. I got Zebra. 3 p.m. I got a weekly early bird. 7 p.m. I got futures tomorrow night. That's where I give scholarships in the futures program Monday night. Now, if you get out of a stock, you ought to have a price you'd get back in. If you get out of a stock, Joe or anybody, if you get out, you ought to say, if I get out here, maybe I get out at Friday's high or get back in at Friday's high. Futures are traded around the class. Okay. Thanks, Jack. What a great name, Jack. I like Jack. Master class is at 10:15 tomorrow. I don't use a trailing stop. No, I don't. Any other questions before I go to a live market? I'm pretty focused, William. I get started about 5 in the morning. Hey, who got my update at 6 where I said the market was down 5%? That was when it opened. It was down 5. I'm doing more of those audio things when I can. Hey, Adam, can we make this whole screen show? And then I can bring over the roadmap chart and the other chart I want to show.
Hey T-Buzz, sorry, I did not hear what you.
I said, can you make this whole screen show, and that way I can bring over the e-mini.
Yeah, I can share the 1 second.
Yeah, there you go. That's all I need.
It'll be this screen that
Perfect. Okay, folks. Well, I've been teaching. This is keeping up with the market, my ETR line on my roadmap. Everybody see that? Okay, now let me bring over something. Who wants to trade the SQQ tonight? I'm gonna give you a number if you got a TD Ameritrade account to follow it, okay? Who wants to trade it? Okay. I'll be trading. Does everybody see? This is the VIX. This is what I use at night. If the VIX goes above that number right there, 37.89, write that down. The VIX goes above that, you can buy the SQQQ tonight. You're wrong if it goes below 36.53. So on the top side, it needs to go above 38.74. On the downside, you're wrong about buying the SQQ below 36.49. That's on the SQQQ. Everybody got that? That works real good at night, folks. Now, let me bring over the E-mini. Let me get rid of the VIX. I'll bring over the E-mini. Okay, here's the E-mini. Okay, there's the E-mini. Bring it over. Okay, you notice the E-mini did not make a low. Does everybody see that number 4832? Everybody see that number? Somebody asked me, what about a reversal? Well, if it gets higher than that number right there, which is 5,007, about 100 points from here, then it's going to reverse and go up. It will wake up to a higher market in the morning. Everybody see that? Say yes, you see it. That's the E-mini. Right now, it's just sort of churning, and we're sort of in a dead zone right now, I think. Okay? No one show you that. So our goal tomorrow, 10:15, get direction of the market for the day. Watch Master Class 1, Master Class 2, and tomorrow I will teach you in Master Class 3. Okay? We'll do it live. Additionally, in the get together in the morning, I will look at a pocket put. We'll look at the current pocket put we got. I'll also give you the TLT trade, the long-term trade tomorrow on bonds. That's a pretty fair deal there, isn't it? I'll do that in the morning at 10:15. Well, folks, I want to thank everybody that took me up on my offer to join me for the Daily Double. Do me a favor, if we do a good job, send me a love letter to TG at DTI Trader. TG at DTI Trader. Okay, like Kevin did. I like to hear from you. How you doing? Chicken, fish, or steak time? Any last minute questions for me before I go down the highway? I think I'm gonna go get ready. 5,007, Don, 5,007. Any other questions? The software, Daphne, is my roadmap software. It's been in development for 30 years. People love it. I can't trade without it. Yeah, and everybody, when it comes to gold, the reason it's down, people sell their winners to cover their losses. It's a natural tendency in this kind of market. Paul, I hope so too. No, it's out there, Daphne, Donna, that's out there. I've been using it for years. That's one of the oldest features inside the roadmap. It's called the ETR line. Adam, don't you have a software offer you want to post? Yeah, oh, I got that coming. You talking about my day trade indicator?
Software is in roadmap.
Yeah, somebody's asking about a software for the roadmap, and I said you could post the link if you want to. They like what they've heard, they like what they see, they want to be on board. Roadmap link. They need it. Okay, y'all got some homework assignment. Once you get signed up, you should get Masterclass 1 and 2. Best thing to do is get into the Daily Double channel, and Adam or Jonathan can post that link in there for that Masterclass 1 and 2. Make it easy for you.
Yep. Once you join, you get access to the classes automatically in the members area.
Perfect.
So,
well, Adam, I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody being here. Record crowd, record bunch of people joining. Thank you. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning at 10:15. Do not forget, when you do sign up for T-Buzz TV, because that's the earliest you'll hear from me live tomorrow morning. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you, T-Buzz.